take us through the race?
Let's see. Yeah, I think it was just like really about being patient. I wasn't exactly sure how I was gonna go. I thought a couple people might take it, and so I was a little bit shocked. Like when I think we came through 1200, and I was like, oh man, we are like bunched up. And so I was just trying to find a good spot on the rail and stay as relaxed as possible. And I thought Elise might take it at some point. Wasn't really sure when, so just was trying to be ready for her move.
That was an explosive move in the last lap. Did you know you had that kind of snap in your leg?
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of trying to decide between running the 15 and the 10, and I was trying to convince Jerry to let me do the 15, and so I think toward the end I was like, if I can't run the 15, then I'm going to turn this last K into, like, I feel like we've been doing kind of a lot of 1500 work and been feeling like really good at that pace, so I was kind of trying to channel the end of a 15 at the end of the 10K.
So you turned the 10 into the 15.
Yeah.
When was the decision made then to do the 10 and not 15?
Pretty last minute. Yeah, like we ended up entering in all three, and was kind of waffling back and forth for a while, even like a couple days before. Jerry was like, I think we should do the 10 and the 5, and I was like, yeah, but I was still convinced. And then I actually had told a couple of my teammates, I was like, if I'm in the first heat of the 15, I'm going to take it as a sign from the universe that I should do the 15. And then the heats came out, and I was in the first heat. But yeah, I'm glad that I ended up doing the 10. So yeah, but I'm excited to watch the 15. I feel like it's really loaded this year, and I'm excited to watch that on Saturday.
Most milers are track kicking and screaming into the 10,000. I guess what was your thought process to embrace that distance?
Yeah, it's definitely been a learning curve. I think that's what we're talking about. Like, the patience is definitely hard. I think coming from running the 15 in college, like, I like a race where you're like amped from the minute it starts and you're going hard, and so I think that's been something that I've had to learn with the 10, is like how to really be patient when you look and you see like 15 laps to go and you're like, I got to save my energy for the end. But like I said, I think that helps me get excited for like that last like mile, last K, because once I am patient and get to that point, I feel like I'm like, okay, my miler side can come out now. So yeah.
Having that confidence in your closing speed, and with only 3 of you having the standard, how comfortable did that make the race for you, knowing that all you basically had to do was kick for a win, basically?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hard. Like, even, when some people have the standard, it's like you're still competing for the win, and like there's still a lot of really good people around. And I think, again, that's just about like I was trying to stay really relaxed, especially when it gets all packed up and everything. So yeah, staying relaxed and trying to conserve to like have that kick at the end. Because I think I've been in a lot of races where I don't think I'm wasting that much energy, but like when you waste a little bit here or there, you're running on the outside, it's like just that pop isn't quite there. So I was really trying to save that energy for a good last couple laps.
Was there any UCLA a few weeks ago? You looked really uncomfortable the last kilometer of that race.
Oh yeah.
Compared to today, what was the difference between then and now?
Oh man, yeah, that race was horrible. I think, we went up to altitude after that, and I think, for lack of a better sentence, like I got my head screwed on straight. I think I was not feeling like myself a little bit throughout the fall, and yeah, I just feel like mentally I wasn't in a great place in that race, and I think I went up to altitude and I was like, okay, it's time to figure it out at least and get in a good spot.
You've been through a lot of changes with the group, moving to Eugene and everything like that. Talk a little bit about that. Has that been pretty stressful for you?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm really grateful for the team. I think it's really brought us close together, both the men's and women's team. I think just going through that transition together. I think being here this weekend, it was a positive thing. Like, I think that brought me a lot of calm before the race. Just when we were, even doing strides and checking in, it was like, this is where we've worked out for the last 6 months, and so you kind of are like, this feels like as close to a home field advantage as you can get at this point.
Did you stay in your own apartment?
I did not stay in my own apartment. We're staying in a hotel. But it was like totally different coming back this time, like having a place compared to usual. But yeah, there's just been a lot of like change and transition, and yeah, with the team, and yeah, it's like, yeah. So I'm grateful for the last 5 weeks and being at altitude with everyone, going back to Park City, which is kind of what we normally do. So that felt a bit more like, okay, this is like our normal routine. This is what we normally do.
Was there any point during the race, during the 10K, where you were like, oh crap, maybe I should have run the 15? Like, did you have any pause throughout the whole race?
No, luckily no, because I think that was, you know, when I talk about like, I literally was like, when did we came here Tuesday, and like Sunday and Monday night I was waffling and I was like, this is not good, like this is like not a good place to be. And I think that was like the biggest thing with making the decision, is like I don't want to get in a race and like regret and wish that I did the other one. So I'm very grateful that I wasn't thinking about that during the race, and I think Jerry was helpful with that. It was like once we finally made the decision, it was like, okay, like we need to move forward. We can't think about like what if.
What helped you get your confidence back up at altitude camp specifically? Obviously the routine, being there a couple times, but like from a workout perspective, like what made you feel like you were ready to do either one of the events?
Yeah, ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I think, man, just feeling a bit more like myself in the workouts, and I think, I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to think. It's crazy. It's like, even when the workout starts to come along and I start to feel more like myself, it's like crazy that the doubt can still creep in. Like when you were just asking about LA, it's like even when I first get here, it's like you got to try to just like block that out of your mind, because it's like when that was the last race I had, it's easy to like picture how I felt that last 2 laps and just be like, holy crap, like I got to go out and run a 10K, and like that felt horrible. But I think it's like, yeah, it's about just like, okay, 5 weeks, I was like, I feel like I'm in an entirely different place, and just trying to like completely wipe that from your mind and just be a different athlete. Good job.